Hi everyone, I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Adam.
And welcome to your weekly social. So today,
What are we talking about?
we're going to talk about algorithms.
And how they suck or how they're awesome? Or both?
Probably both, a little bit more on how they suck, but you know.
Okay, so then did you see what Twitter put out like yesterday, or maybe a day or two, but...
Kind of, not really. I kind of like saw it and was like, okay, and like kept moving.
Gotcha. So, I'm not a big Twitter person. I have kind of avoided it for a while. I'm kind of slowly coming back a little bit. And I notice as I'm scrolling on my mobile device, it doesn't do it on desktop as much. And my first like 5 or 6 items are sponsored or boosted or like trending stuff before I get to people I actually like. But even then, it's not chronological order. Like, it's a post from Rand Fishkin 2 weeks ago or something.
Yeah.
He's an SEO guy I like.
Got it.
Yeah. But Twitter just came out and said, oh yeah, here's a separate tab for you to see the latest.
So instead of like your home, and that's kind of like your main feed, there's a whole separate
A secondary feed.
feed.
Secondary feed for your latest.
Interesting. And latest is just whoever's tweeted or...
Whoever you're following, what they're tweeting, retweeting, maybe some comments here and there. But primarily it's just chronological, bringing it back. Do you have that problem? Because I like chronological. I actually prefer chronological.
I do enjoy chronological because then I feel like I'm not missing out on things.
Like what do you miss out?
If I'm thinking for my personal feed, kind of shifting from Twitter and moving on to Instagram. Instagram was at one point chronological, which was really nice.
Okay.
And then they had an update, and that was a while ago, but they haven't fixed it or changed it back since, where now it's not necessarily chronological, it's just kind of what's doing really good and what's getting the most likes, the most traction, you know, what are people interacting with more. So I'll get a post from like 2 hours ago to a day ago to 3 days ago, and then again like 2 hours ago, 1 hour ago, and it's
Interesting. Okay, and then does yours change based on like the day that you're on there?
so if I have more than enough time on my hand, I will like scroll through Instagram, and then it'll tell me, hey, like you're all caught up now. I'm like, am I? Because I don't remember seeing that post that's under there. So what
sure.
defines being all caught up? If I were to look at something today, on my feed, and then shift to tomorrow, I could probably honestly still see the same post. Just if it was like a carousel, I would see like a different photo because that photo performed better.
See, so LinkedIn is a little bit different. LinkedIn is fascinating because there is literally not enough content creators in the platform. And especially as you get towards the weekend, it'll actually give you stuff from 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, from people you follow, but maybe you're not like actively working with them or trying to engage with them because it has nothing else to show you.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that being said, you should be on LinkedIn. I know a couple weeks ago we said don't do it. We thought that's for hiring, but like if you're trying to be a content creator, LinkedIn has some good stuff and some good space going. Okay, so then did you hear about the Facebook unfollow guy?
No.
So he got permanently banned from Facebook
Oh, okay.
for making a Chrome extension that goes in and unfollows everything. All your friends, pages, and groups.
What? Why?
That's the beautiful part. Okay, and I want to clarify something really quick. So you can be friends with somebody, you can like a page, and you can be in a group, but you do have to say, I want to follow, I want to receive notifications, and I want to be engaged with this group, right? And that's like YouTube, right? Like we always say, please all of you, please subscribe, like this video, and hit the bell to subscribe. You should do that now. You have to hit the bell for people to receive that notification. Likewise, you have to adjust your follow settings per each friend, Facebook page, and group. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so because I know like on other platforms you can kind of like mute people to where, I don't want to see what this person's posting, and so you mute them. You're still following them. You just can't see anything that they post and anything that they do. But you have to do that for each person on Facebook?
So in Facebook, you have to go through and unfollow each person, and that's like a permanent mute, semi-permanent mute. Like you can refollow them later.
Yeah.
But it's like muting them, but just getting rid of it completely.
Interesting.
So this guy, he made this Chrome extension, and I have used it. I do recommend it. It's fun. It's actually really fun. And it's not injecting code. You literally you activate it, and then you see your Facebook page open up, go into settings, show you everybody you're following, and then it just unfollows and just literally clicks the button for you on everybody and everything. And it is eerily quiet. Like you'll sit there and you can refresh and there's no posts, nothing. Your feed will be empty. You might get some advertisements, but your feed is empty, which inherently is not what Facebook wants.
No.
Right? Like they're trying to make it engaging.
Yeah.
But what I think Facebook has lost, and we wrote a blog article, it's up on our website, Facebook, in an attempt to show you content that you actually like, you're missing out on content that you actually like.
Got it.
And after you run the unfollow, and you can hang out and it's really quiet for a little time, you can go through and then just be like, okay, who's my friend list? Who do I actually want to follow? What are the pages that I actually want to care about? What are the groups that I actually really want to be a part of? And I went through, this was awesome. I had fun going through and cleaning and just wow, a lot of these groups have been archived.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I'll remove myself from these groups. Okay, these pages, yeah, I don't really care about this anymore. And kind of clean house. And I actually like my Facebook feed now.
I think that's where you would benefit from it more than I would. On my Facebook, it's primarily for family.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
You know, and friends that when we all made it when we were I don't know, 16. I don't even know. And we would and I have joined some groups and everything, but it's groups that I'm interested in now. Right now, and I have been avatar meme groups or food cooking groups and things like that. And so for me, my feed, when I do go on it, it's more or less things that I like, and then there's things that family or friends say and they'll make their posts, but those honestly get kind of hidden between all the groups that I'm in.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that though, because I like seeing what the groups that I'm in post more than anything else.
I think that's where, even for some individuals who hate their feeds, especially on Facebook, and once again, this guy was permanently banned from Facebook for making this extension. And to me, that's a helpful tool. I wish that was a native Facebook feature, because Facebook will do this thing where they try to give you what you like, which, especially in terms of political stuff, it gives you things that you're going to comment, share, and interact with more, whether it's things that you agree with or disagree with. So it's just going to feed you more of the same.
Yeah.
And so then this is a way for you to actually be able to exit all of that and have a good, fresh start.
It's unfortunate that he was banned.
I know, it's such a cool
permanently.
tool.
Can you imagine being permanently banned?
Yes.
Oh. Never mind. I can't imagine my feed being cleaned out. But I don't know what I'd do if I tried it and then my feed was just blank.
Well, and it gets that idea of what are we even using these platforms for, right? And deeper and deeper, Facebook and the timeline / your news feed doesn't actually give you anything. Really, a lot of people are using Facebook for the messenger and for groups and the marketplace. And that's where it's become king. Craigslist is not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
It's mostly died because of Facebook Marketplace. and you get to see people you interact with. You're like, okay, this person is much less potential for a scam being identified and known versus a Craigslist stranger. It brings a lot of safety to it. And so, do we even need the news feed?
That's a question.
And that's something we could talk about next week on next week's Weekly Social.
That's true. If you enjoyed the video, comment, like, subscribe. We said it earlier, we're gonna say it again. Hit the bell.
All the bells.
All of them.
And make sure to give thumbs ups. Those are also called likes. There's a share button somewhere that you can also, has like an arrow, hit the box with the arrow on it, and send it to people on their Facebook news feeds.
But yeah, thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Take care.